In the semi-darkness, a young man carrying an elaborately finished leather case was hurrying through the streets of Antwerp. Christoffel Plantin had made the case himself and wanted to hand it over personally to the secretary of King Philip II of Spain. He never got the chance. He was waylaid by robbers and injured so badly that he would never be able to craft leather again. So Christoffel Plantin became a printer, the most important after Gutenberg and the biggest publisher of his day. There is no proof that the tale of how Christoffel Plantin came to be a printer is actually true. What is certain, however, is that he established a printing works and a publishing house in the centre of Antwerp, which promoted and influenced intellectual history, the arts and sciences, religion and philosophy for more than 3 centuries. Life in 1555 was not easy for printers in the southern Netherlands, which was occupied by Spain. The authorities only did business with those who were Catholic. Plantin was an advocate of humanism. The first book he printed was a treatise by the Italian humanist Giovanni Michele Bruto on the education of young girls. What came off his presses later was of a less romantic nature. Under the seal of the Compasso d'Oro, the golden compass, which adorned every printed page, publications were produced which provoked lively discussion. In the second half of the 16th century, Antwerp was a golden city. Thanks to the river Scheldt, it was a thriving port, a hub of commerce and finance, a focal point of technical experimentation, and an international cultural center. Prosperity and culture were very much in evidence. Around 1550, Antwerp was the economic nucleus of Europe and the biggest city north of the Alps. In 1576, Christoffel Plantin moved into the Renaissance and early Baroque building on the Friday Market in the heart of the city. A first-class address, it has remained unchanged through to the present day. The man with the golden compass. Christoffel Plantin, a Frenchman born near the city of Tours, married for many years to Jeanne Rivière. As time passed, the Officina Plantiniana, the official Latin name of the company, grew into a printing house without parallel worldwide. It was rumored that as many as 22 printing presses were in operation at once. With around 80 employees, the Officina remained the world's biggest printing house until well into the 19th century. Typesetters and printers and important authors came to Antwerp from all over Europe. Plantin had 5 daughters. One of them, Martina, married Jan-Moretus, who had worked for her father for many years and enjoyed his complete trust. Moretus took over the Officina and gave the company and all male descendants his name. For many years, Plantin had dealt with both Catholics and Calvinists, at times running the risk of being accused of heresy. He took a major step towards consolidating his position by printing and publishing a polyglot edition of the Bible with the support of his great patron, Philip II of Spain. The 8-volume work in 5 languages was the biggest typographical challenge and achievement of the 16th century. Thereafter, Plantin enjoyed almost monopolistic status and amassed a huge fortune, mainly through publishing liturgical books. With the backing of the Spanish colonial power and through its missionary activities, they found their way to all corners of the known world. Plantin-Moretus became a printing legend. Enchantingly beautiful and lavishly designed editions were published, usually of religious handbooks. The Officina Plantiniana in Antwerp became a meeting place for Europe's intellectual elite, for men of science who had espoused humanism, for the scholars and revered figures of the 17th century, evangelists and popes. The Plantin-Moretus family soon possessed a unique library of around 25,000 works, including hundreds of manuscripts. Some of them were reissued as valuable facsimile editions, a lucrative business. Over all those years, the library, with the painting of Christ crucified, also served as a private chapel. Plantin-Moretus publications also reflected current developments in the fields of science and research, reporting on the latest analyses of the cosmos, discoveries in physics, man in the universe, a biological as well as a theological subject. The company also revolutionized the art of printing with an intaglio process that used copper engraving instead of the old woodcuts. Illustrations could be etched into the copper plates and reproduced with a precision which had previously been thought inconceivable. Work at the Officina was characterized by quality and passion. Plantin's motto was labore et constantia. According to a sonnet, he wrote, "These values, the good in the world, could be attained by being content with little, hoping for nothing from friends, and at all times acting fairly and correctly." Nothing left the building on the Friday market in Antwerp without being checked. Efforts were taken to avoid every error. The Plantin-Moretus company bore responsibility and disseminated knowledge in the world in a new way, through books which provided shocking insights into the human anatomy, the male body, its organs portrayed objectively like vegetables, and the composition of the female body, its organs too laid bare. Plantin-Moretus also conveyed the complex context of research into civilization. No one contributed more in publicizing discoveries and imparting knowledge. The Golden Compass became the hallmark of humanism in Europe. And over the centuries, the Officina Plantiniana, the fine production and manor house in Antwerp, itself became a monument to thought and design. By now famous, in the third generation, the Officina was run for more than 30 years by Balthasar Moretus. He was often seen in the company of an old school friend, Peter Paul Rubens, the greatest artist of his day and a master of light. 18 of his unmistakable portraits decorate the salons on the ground floor of the manor house. Through his close ties with the Plantin-Moretus family, Rubens illustrated numerous books published by the Officina. Today, these are priceless gems of the art of printing. The salons are adorned with paintings and porcelain, furniture and tapestries, gifts from kings, princes, dignitaries, and other figures of standing and renown. The Plantin-Moretus dynasty of printers and publishers had long been one of the country's most influential families, and was also one of its wealthiest. In 1692, the family was ennobled. Thereafter, its male descendants bore distinctive names: Junker Jan and Junker Balthasar, Junker Jacobus, Franciscus, Josephus or Hyacinthus. With inventive curiosity and a desire to educate, the Antwerp publishing dynasty contributed not only to the exploration of the world, but also to its explanation. The Officina inundated people with knowledge in the form of thousands of publications, encyclopedias, music scores and maps of the world. Up until then, books had been the preserve of a small group, rulers and religious leaders, those with power. Plantin-Moretus, the world's first publishing house, and for a long time its biggest, took people on a journey into the unknown, to barbarians in Africa. Through the first ever mass publications of books, they brought education and knowledge within reach of many. Representatives of the world's oldest and biggest printing house turned European barbarians into advocates of humanism, and later into students of the Enlightenment. In the West's first bookshop, run by Plantin-Moretus, books could be bought for gold. Certainly a Bible or an encyclopedia. In the Golden Compass, in the Officina Plantiniana in Antwerp, faith and knowledge have always been intermixed. The firm thought and acted in global terms right from the very beginning. 450 years ago, Christoffel Plantin was centuries ahead of his time.